Good morning, Flosstube. It's Pam, stitching between the lines. It's Wednesday morning, December 1st, 2021. I had the date figured out. I didn't have the day of the week figured out. Sorry. I get good at it. Hometown Christmas. Showed it in the last video. Oh, this is video number 103. Flosstube. In 102, I talked about this quilt. And whatever, go back there. It's in the beginning part. So I don't have to keep repeating myself, I guess. It's kind of a gray day. It's the early December. We have lots of dark days, but that's okay. It's good for stitching. Looking around at all my things. I don't even have that many things. I thought maybe this would be a quick video, but you never know once I get started. So I hope everybody that celebrates Thanksgiving had a nice Thanksgiving. We had a great one. It was maybe one of my favorites. My son came home and my girls, of course, and son-in-law. And my birthday is close to Thanksgiving. So we sort of do this mishmash of birthday celebrations. We do a little something when my son is here so that he can, have a little bit of celebration. I don't think we do a cake usually, but I don't know. And then the real day that we celebrate is usually one of the first weekends in December, and that we go with the girls. We go Christmas tree shopping. We always go cut one down and make a big production out of it, and then we decorate the tree, and then we have dinner, whatever. So stuff like that. So this year I thought I would mix it up a little bit. My daughter and her husband are in the process of buying a house that should close any day now. They're already about 2 weeks late on the closing. And so I was thinking that maybe they needed their December weekends free. And also it would be nice to include my son in the actual celebration day. So we celebrated on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. My girls that are teachers were done with school on Tuesday. So they were here. My request was no gifts, and I wanted them to fix dinner and bake the cake. So they did, and it was fabulous. And we altered our routine in that last year after Christmas we ordered a fake Christmas tree, which was a big step for us. But I think I've talked about this before. One of my daughters had such a severe allergic reaction to last year's Christmas tree, that we decided the time had come. And for years leading up to that, as my husband's crawling down on the ground in the snow, cutting down the tree, and we're dragging it and we're wrestling it into the house. We like a big tree. Our tree is 12 feet tall, the fake one. Last year's was that tall easily too. And I always kind of warn them, so there's going to be a day when we're going to be too old to do this. So it was time, and it's a beautiful tree. I'll put a picture in here if I can get a picture. Taking a picture of a Christmas tree, it's in front of windows. So maybe what you're going to see is a shadow of a tree. I don't know. Anyway, we spent pretty much the whole weekend decorating it because there was a lot going on that day, and I don't know. Sometimes you do it because the mood is right, not because it's a forced activity. So we had a great day. It was really nice. My one daughter got a kitten, as I talked about in the last video, and she brought him over for an introductory day because Cooper needs to get to know the kitten so that she can bring him. And it was cute. What was very pleasantly surprising is that Cooper didn't try to kill him. Cooper can be very aggressive. Was always relatively aggressive with Murphy. And if he saw an outside cat, look out. Look out, hide Murphy. I don't know what it is in their little brains that makes them so predatory that they see an outside cat and he wants to go after the inside cat. And we actually had another cat that did that, and it was a girl. She was a girl who did that. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. So anyway, we were really worried about what was going to happen when a new cat came in the house. So first meetings were mostly well supervised, and that was just for the afternoon to see what was going to happen. And then when she brought the kitten back, there was a lot more like nose to nose, and Cooper only said cat bad words once. You know how if you have a cat, you've probably experienced the speaking of words, and it's not a meow. And one time the kitten kind of jumped up at him when he was in a chair, and Cooper reached out and swatted him. But then Cooper runs away, so he's not wanting a confrontation. He just wants to set up the ground rules. By the last day she was here, they were actually playing, which I just blew my mind. Mostly what they were doing was Cooper was sitting on the floor, and the kitten was investigating the room, and did a hide behind something pounce on Cooper, and it's just not, they don't pounce on him, he just runs up to him. And then runs away and hides. And Cooper stayed put and kept his eye out and kept watching. And the kitten circled around and came up behind him again. And they did that I don't know how many times. Sometimes the kitten would get distracted and go somewhere else for a while, but then he would come back to playing the same game. And Cooper must have been feeling playful because he's on the floor, and he would watch for him. He would watch where he went last, or maybe where he came from last, or whatever. So that was very encouraging. Then the kitten went home. So we'll see when the kitten comes back again if they remember each other. So that was fun. Kitten is so stinking cute and sweet, and ugh, but I know I don't want a kitten. That'll cure you from wanting a kitten. Oh, he's into everything. He's got a little bit of the devil in him. If you don't want him to be somewhere, he will go there as fast as he can. I had a cat like that once too. And like we have a loft with the rungs that look down into the kitchen, or part of it looks down into the dining room, and he's up there. And then the beams in the ceiling, he's eyeing one of the beams that he could have easily gotten onto through the rungs. So it was a little bit unnerving because, you know, he's little. So we don't know. He doesn't even know his own self. Like if he's going to jump somewhere, how far he's going to slide, or what he's going to knock off, or what his jumping ability is. So we just don't need that happening. So anyway, that was fun. It really was. So I was very proud of Cooper, who's, you know, an old man at this point. So anyway, he's not getting a sibling anytime soon. Oh, so it's a good stitching stretch of time coming up, I hope. I have a lot of things to do, as most people do this time of year. But somehow there's a lot of added things. I don't know. It's silly. But the early evenings that, whatever, I'm hopeful. I'm always hopeful. I go into every month with hope that I'll finish all kinds of things or have all kinds of time to work. But as I turn around, I'm just reaching for an unexpected piece that I was working on. With the kitten here and stuff, we spent a lot of time in the family room in the basement because we could shut the door and keep him contained. There's just 2 bedrooms in the family room down there. Upstairs, there's trouble everywhere. So we would sometimes open the door at the top of the stairs, or just not close it, latch it, but just close it, and Cooper can stick his paw in and open it up if he wants to come downstairs. So we spent a lot of time down there, and I needed a little project that I could work on without all the, all the things that take up lots of space. So I have this Mill Hill Jim Shore snowman that I pulled out to work on. And actually I had started this previously. Just a few odd stitches. Another time when I needed something just to stitch without a lot of fuss. So we got this far. Not bad. A lot of what's on the top is beads going on up here that's left. There's more color and whatnot going on down in his body. Not a glare. Okay, So that was underway, and maybe we'll get finished and put on the Christmas tree this year. We will see. And then I also pulled out, after I finished whatever I showed you last time, the block on Hawk Run Hollow that I finished for November. Today I intend to start on the December block, and then that'll be the end. That'll be the finish. I have the piece with me of something else that I unexpectedly worked on for maybe 5 days. Pulled it out. I had enough day. The other thing I started in November was, no, I started in October was, these designers, they deserve the respect of me saying their name correctly. Little House Needleworks, Kringles. So I started it, and I started in the middle, and I was going to do another block this month. So I had enough days to work on something different. So I pulled out, unexpectedly, but very happily, I pulled out pumpkins, Luke S. pumpkins. I have 3 projects to show you, and this is how organized I am. Stuff on top of my sewing machine. The amount I love this is just defies description. It came from mybobbin.com. Feel free to go and shop there. Love looking through their things. So this time around, what I worked on was, I got this leaf done, and I worked on this vase. So there was the leaf. I had done all the the cabinet up to and around the leaf, and the green pumpkin, the orange pumpkin, and a lot of stuff going on around it was already done. So I'm working my way left, as I do, and I thought maybe I'd only get the leaf done, and then I had plenty of time. So I started on the vase, and I got, right before Thanksgiving, I discovered, like across this part, I am short 1 stitch. But everywhere I test and check, like the distance here, and everywhere I check, I'm fine. So I can't, and I've been crossing out as I go. It's such a complicated pattern. Complicated in that when you look at the pattern, you have no idea what the design is. It's just the way, I can't even think my Heaven and Earth design pattern looks like that. It's just, there's no rhyme or reason to the symbols. It's just a mass of symbols. So you really have to work at it. And you don't even know what's coming next color-wise, because there's just no distinction between changing colors. But anyway, it takes a lot of work. It's a surprise I made it all the way over here before something went wrong. I'm going to guess it might be in here. But anyway, I put it away because it was evening when I figured it out. And after doing I did remove a few stitches out of the middle of that open space. There were a few greens because it's like the stems are coming up through the water. I removed a few in case those were misplaced, but they didn't seem to be, so I need to sit down and spread it out and get the pattern out and really, really figure it out. I will not take out elaborate amounts. It's how many times am I roll it up and get it back out? Everything is sort of distorted looking because it's in water. If I'm off something in here and it's easy removal, you can see there's empty spaces, then I will remove it up there. But if it's something like this whole edge is off by 1, I'm not going to take that out. There will just be, I will do a best effort. What can you do? It's not like everything's straight and narrow, right? There's a lot going on. So I may get this out again because I don't like the mistake hanging over my head. I don't know if I don't know what'll be necessary. If I fix it, if it's a removal, then I'll remove it and put some stitches and put it back away. Or if I need to like close in on the error area, then maybe I'll work on it some more. So anything's possible. And then I've been doing Kringles. Started after Thanksgiving was over, after all the company was gone, so that I could sit with all my masses of floss and stuff. pages and pages of patterns. That's one of the things that was frustrating about this pattern, is that, for example, this middle block spans 4 pages. This one spans 2, an up and a down, so that was less of a chore. So I'm going to have, when I get to this block, it's going to span 2, when I get to this, and when I get to that. So that's kind of frustrating. So anyway, I worked on this block, this room, which this appears to be like the girls' toys, and the brick. And then yesterday I did this. So I'm ready to start in December the next room up, which will be this Christmas tree and train room. And next I'll have to come up here. It's 9 rooms. I'm thinking 12 months, but if I'm going to do like 9, one of these a month, so that's 9 months. 10, 11, 12, I don't know. So I want to make sure I keep doing little bits of the big parts as I go and do the rooms. And there could be a point where instead of doing stitching and putting it away and stitching and putting it away, I'll just want to keep it out and make it a main focus piece. So we'll see. I just love these colors. The colors, the Little House Needleworks designers just always spot on with color. So that. And what am I doing that's other than cross stitch? Still searching for all the pieces and parts to Praiseworthy Stitches. Maple Sugar Hill. Look at the bag. Look at how much stuff is in that bag. Still don't have all the threads. I have one more order placed at a store, Winter at Sugar Hill, that I have ordered from before, and it has been a little bit unreliable. I swore I'd never order from there again, but here we go. I won't name names. So at this particular store, you don't get any kind of confirmation or shipping thing or anything. So it's a crapshoot on that one. But maybe I'll start it because I keep thinking of it, pulling it out, looking at the thread list, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. We'll see. In the quilting world, I have worked on another one of these. I showed these at one point, shabbyfabrics.com, which is a really nice website, place to shop for fabric. Did these, what do they want to call them? Oh, a wall hanging. It was a club and you got one a month, and I don't even know how many years ago it was. Well, they came out in 2018, so let's say it was 2018. And I have done a few, and then I don't do any, and then I pick up one. And that year I was doing 2 clubs that came monthly, so sometimes I'd do one from the other club and one from this one. Now I'm trying to actually finish it by doing one a month to have ready to hang. I have a shutter that they hang on, to do one a month and have it ready for the month. Well, today's December 1st, and what is done is, don't laugh. Well, first of all, I sewed the 3 squares. Sometimes I sew them all together and do the applique, and sometimes I'm looking for the finished one. Where is it? Oh, when I do applique, I change the thread color, and so I have lots of threads and bobbins over there. So I did this one, and this one involved some hand embroidery. So while it's the quickest one, I think, I just thought this was the most hands-on one. So that's done. I'm going to see if I have any little tiny red buttons, because those dots are like as big around as an eraser pencil eraser. Not fun to applique. And then that when it's fussy, a lot of people talk about prepping applique where they layer it all up and then go around. I build from the bottom up and I applique each thing. So in this instance, I would applique the sock first, and then I would put these on and applique those. And then probably the toys go next in order of the candy cane or whatever. Bear's got a lot of parts. So there'll be a little bit of tucking and appliquing some things on at the same time, but I don't do full on mount it all on there and then go around it. I like to not have any visible break in, like if you put this on and wanted to match your colors, you'd have to do the brown, go over, start at the edge and do green, and there's just going to be evidence. My sewing machine does a great buttonhole stitch, although my machine is going in timeout. Let's see if we can see my machine. Poor baby. Look at this. This is why we don't see my sewing room. Always. I have always worked with a mess of supplies right next to me. Always. I don't know what it is. There's pins. There's the little candy dish with my scissors and a pin cushion, another pin cushion. There's a flower frog with more scissors, and there's a magnet, two different magnetic things back there. There's my gloves in a bottle. Please tell me you all know about this, and if you stitch, you must know about this. It's fragrance free. You put it on, and it has no residue. Usually after I do the dishes, I need to put this on because my hands are so dry. I'm not even going to tell you all the things in here, but there's some extra thread that I've recently used and will probably use some more. A bobbin, my glasses, a thread, the seam ripper, can't live without it. Whoops, I just dropped the open toe foot on the floor that you can't do applique without the open toe foot. Love my machine. It doesn't know yet that it's going to go to the sewing machine doctor today, and I probably won't see it again till after Christmas because that's how these things work. Seriously, this invaluable clamps on. It was from the catalog. Like there used to be home parties for scrapbooking, and you can hang a waste paper plastic bag to catch your scraps off of it. I don't need that. So yeah, that's how I work. Always there's a TV there. There's my can't live without it. Instructions on joining binding, mitering a binding. It's the way it is. So anyway, this was an homage to my sewing machine, which I love. Who needs to go to the sewing machine doctor? And here's the other thing. Last time around, I mentioned my serger being a jerk. And so I got it out again because I was going to serge the edges of, I don't know what, because that would mean that there's I was kidding something up. I don't remember what that might have been. I don't know. I had it out last week and just shake my head. And I got it. I said to my serger, you get one chance. Sergers use 4 threads, and that threading it is complicated, and like the 4th spool comes unthreaded for whatever reason easily, and I rethreaded that one and it still didn't work. But I knew, and I know that if you need to rethread it, you need to start from scratch. That's just the way they work. So I said it had one chance. I was rethreading all 4 of the threads once. If it didn't work, it was out. So it worked, and that day in the mail, I got a flyer from the sewing center, the place that my machine is going today, to get cleaned, get its tension. It's got a tension problem. It self-adjusts tension, and it's doing it very badly. So it probably just needs a good cleaning. I got a flyer from there, and starting December 1st, they were featuring the a particular style of serger, and this style of serger, it uses like a puff of air to self-thread the thing. I think probably you got to thread the needle when you get it. Serger uses 4 threads, 2 needles. 2 threads come down through the needle and 2 threads come up from the bottom. So I was like, oh no, here I am going there the first day that those machines are on sale, I guess. You never know. I use it literally to put an edge on my cross stitch fabric, and that is it. So having trouble justifying the price. Anyway. That's what I'm doing this morning. I don't know if I'm coming home with a new serger. I have a second sewing machine. It's another FOF that I use. It's lighter weight and smaller. I use one as my travel machine. So when I go on a retreat or a sewing day or whatever, that one lives in the trolley bag, in the closet. Easy peasy. So that will come out. And they will also at the store loan me one. But I'm fine. I have another one. So sewing can still go on, and key element to the sewing is the Bonnie Hunter mystery started on Friday, where I talked about this a few videos ago and I think I showed my fabric piles. Bonnie Hunter of Quiltville, and that's her blog, quiltville.blogspot.com probably. Google her, Quiltville, Bonnie Hunter. She'll come up. So every year, the Friday after Thanksgiving, she starts a mystery with clue 1, and the next Friday is clue 2, and you get, in the end, a large quilt. I've done it a number of years. I didn't do it last year. I did another mystery quilt last year through Moda. So this year, I'm back to doing the Bonnie Hunter and saving the Moda blocks, because you never know. So the first clue came out on Friday, and it is to make a truckload of half square triangles using, I changed my new, here comes the sun, right? I changed my background fabric to black, and I think she still used pink, so I have a pink. I changed a couple colors. I use, as I probably showed, all kinds of pinks that are in the same like family as these, and the same with black. So scrappy. Bonnie Hunter does scrappy things. So that's what she does. She pulls out whatever she has that is in the color family she wants with as much variation in color as she wants. I tend to try to stay as close as I can. Like if the pink matched a particular pink crayon, then all my pinks would try to match that same pink crayon. In this case, out of all of our truckload of half square triangles, you put them together in groups of 4. And when you do that, your 4 are the same. So I like that. It gives a block less. Well, it just depends. I like a scrappy, but sometimes overly scrappy can be confusing. So I like it when there's a block family sort of paired up. So one of the things about the Quiltville Bonnie, she asks that nobody post or give out the information on the specifics, the specific number of these, the specific size. If you want, the pattern is free on her blog. Go there, look for yourself. Much like any free pattern, the idea is to be frequenting her social media. So I'm not done yet with my number, with the correct quantity of these. What I have to tell you though is me, who has a truckload of these clips, I'm going to run out. Some of them are being used in other places, so it's not like I need that many. So that's the sewing. It's Christmas music season. I don't know if I ever mentioned this. I love Christmas music. Love Christmas music. Almost all styles of Christmas music. Almost anything. Mostly the traditional music, traditional songs. But there's an awful lot of I have a large collection of Christmas CDs, and just always look forward to when it's the official season. It doesn't feel right listening to it in the off season. So I wait until somebody decides it's the season, for example, the radio station. And I start going through my CDs, plus I always play the radio or the TV station that plays Christmas music or whatever. Always have Christmas music. My absolute latest favorites are not so new. I bought this one when it came out. Herb Alpert. This is so beautiful. It came out, I'm reading the back. I have no idea. Just let's say, 2017. I was going to say about 5 years ago. It is so beautiful. One of my daughters played the trumpet. I could listen to this over and over again all day. And I'm somebody who could listen. This is not, I'm not going to say it. There's a CD that I could listen to over and over again that other people are like, wah! I don't want to put anybody's music sales in the tank, right? Like I have that kind of power. This is beautiful, as is this one. It's just not a band I would listen to otherwise, and I don't even know. Maybe I heard a song on the radio and ended up buying the CD. I don't know. I lost this one for a while and then found it out in the compartment in the car. This was back when I had a car with a CD player. So like 2 years later, I'm like, here it is. I was very happy. I'm sure there's a year on here, but the type is so small. You'll just have to live in suspense. But I'd say this has been out longer than the Herb Alpert one. So that's what I do a lot of times. I play them in my sewing room all the time. And then after Christmas, I would try to play them all at least one more time. But I've gotten to the point where I have too many. So I'd be playing all the way through January just to get them all played. And then what have I been reading? Another reread. I'm a parent. Well, I don't know that I'm on a reread kick, like actively trying. What had happened was, I've said a number of times, that the book sales at the library, I just pick up books because I remember I really liked them, or I wouldn't mind reading them again. So that's all. So Widow for a Year by John Irving. A Widow for 1 year. I read it when it first came out. Sorry, I don't know when. I'm going to say close to 20 years ago. I don't dislike the book. I've had enough already. And it's long. And I've had enough already. Did I say that? And I'm Never a Quitter. 1998. So I remember buying it at BJ's way back when. And it's not even that thick, right? You'd be fooled. This is like 550 pages long, and there is not a space in there. Like, if you wanted to read it, John Irving's written some great books. World According to Garp and A Prayer for Owen Meany. I tried to reread A Prayer for Owen Meany once. I loved the book the first time I read it, but for somehow I just couldn't stay with it, and I almost never quit a book. The Cider House Rules, that might be the one that most people know about because it came out as a movie. Since this book came out, he has another book. I can't say. I'm sure I've read it, but I don't know what it is. So, sorry. Take that out of your mind. I don't know. So I'm not sure that was a, resounding, you need to read that. And then Elizabeth Berg. I love all of Elizabeth Berg's early books, and at some point she lost me. So I saw What We Keep, which is a book that's only 225 pages long, and I don't have it, but I can show a picture. Elizabeth Berg, What We Keep. She tells, in her early books especially, she tells a lot of story in a short number of pages, like 225 pages. Like, hello, take a lesson. So I'm rereading that one. I'm actually not done with it yet, but it's on the device that I'm recording on, so I'll have to get a picture for you. And then the other one I read was The Family by Naomi Krupitzki. I will put the cover here. Also on my device. I saw it. I was reading it, so I already knew about it. And I was at the little local bookstore, and they had it in hardcover. So I don't even know if it's brand new. I don't even know, but it was interesting. It's about two girls whose fathers work in the mob, the mafia, whatever, in the early 1940s, maybe. And they are best friends, and then things happen because their fathers aren't like of equal, level in there. And the story goes along as the girls grow up and their lives take whatever direction they take. And it was a good book. It was definitely not gory, not overly emotional, not, it was just a story. And I enjoyed it. Definitely. And then, so that's the books. We've done all the things. My pile is about empty. I got to pack up my sewing machine and do some errands this morning. I thought I would be uploading this while I was doing my errands, but it's already time for me to hit the road. So I'll upload it after I can insert pictures. And that's it. I maybe won't be back till after Christmas. Maybe. You never know. If I finish something like Hawk Run Hollow and if I'm starting to like accumulate so many things that I can't keep the whole shebang going. Don't go anywhere. I'm still here. Don't go anywhere. Look at the quilt. I have the pattern that goes with this that I'm about to show you, and I can't find it. I got it out of the spot where I keep all the patterns, and I don't know where it went. Sorry. One of the things I was going to show you, I can't find the pattern. It's in the pile of things, and it slipped. I'm sure when I pulled the FFO out, it slipped off. So FFO number 1. I know number 1. Like there's more than one. So you're gonna say, what have you done with Pam? Because she doesn't FFO anything. So Prim Village. It's So Emma or Lori Holt finished on this thing that I bought at Hobby Lobby. And the details of this pattern are on their standalone video that's on my playlist. And if you click and look through to see what my videos are, when you're logged into YouTube, it's the only video where the little screenshot that you see is of this and not my whatever cartoon version of me picture. So that came out really nice. And this is the kind of thing, this is what would lead me to make a video like prior to the end of the month, is that things are just starting to pile up so that I could show them to you. I also finished the last unfinished strawberry that I had, the chick one. I've shown these so many times. I FFO'd it using a bit of an old lace. It was a stained lace doily. And I did some of the finishing ideas that we learned from Erica Michaels' class I took. And there's a button under there to give all this some support and structure. I was thinking about adding maybe some green leaves, but maybe not. Maybe I'm happy with it. Every time I look at it, I'm happy with it. So, did that. And then I FFO'd, this is one of those Pine Mountain monthly, like postcard things. Did it, I don't know, ages ago. What's the date? Does it say I finished it in 2020? Yep. But I started it way before that. So I didn't want to finish it as a project bag. Well, first of all, the colors matched this novelty fabric in Florida. It's possible that I've seen it with this word being Florida, but I didn't change it. And so I made a project bag using the fabric. Couldn't think of anything else. Didn't want a pillow. Don't really like big pillows with cross stitch. So lined with the fabric. This is one of the things. This is one of the things I use my serger for. When I make these project bags and they have a raw edge inside, I use my serger. That's what I was doing when it acted up last time. So did that because I need another project bag. But it's an FFO. I laid that around for a long time and couldn't figure out what to do with it. So there it is. It's a project bag. Okay. So now this is really everything. So I must go off and do my morning errands and grocery shopping and whatevers. And we'll talk to you later. Have a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.